Good evening and welcome to Computer Science at Vernon Township High School. My name is Aaron Kitis. I'm sorry that I can't meet with you in person this evening. I unfortunately have to teach a class at the local community college. Thank you, Mr. Rogers, for filling in for me so that I can connect with parents a little bit tonight. And let's talk a little bit about my experience, the grading policy, and some of the curriculum for the students so you know what they're going to be looking at this year. First, I went to school at Montclair where I got my bachelor's in mathematics and my minor in computer science. Through those, as well as some of my work experience in the past, I was able to also get a computer science CTE certification. We have a CTE computer science program at the school, of which this is one of those courses. And should students decide to continue next year, with the third course, we should be able to get them a CTE certificate. My experience, which went into that, it was as a web designer and a programmer. I worked at a telecommunications company for approximately 12 years before I started teaching, as well as working on electronic solutions and websites for small to medium-sized businesses. If you ever want to talk to me, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email address is on the screen. It's akitis@vtsd.com. Thanks to the advent of smartphones, I'm able to check my email quite often, and I try to respond as quickly as I can. If you prefer to call, please feel free to do so. If you talk to me in office, they'll get me a message or leave me a note. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you prefer to talk on the phone or meet in person, I'll be happy to work on whatever works best for you. Our grading policy for the class is 5% in class participation, 10% into homework, 30% into quizzes, and tests are 55%. Even though it's a lower grade, class participation is still vitally important to the students' understanding the content, and will certainly help them build their understanding of what's going on with the programs that build. I expect a few things from the students. I ask them to be on time and to be good to each other. I ask them to come prepared. I do know that it's a computer course, but a notebook and a pencil or a pen is still very useful. There will be things that we take notes on or need to draw out, almost like pre-writing for our programs for the logic, and having those supplies will help them immensely in actually writing the program. Programming is much like learning a new language. You have to pre-write in order to be able to translate when you first start. I ask them, of course, to complete their homework and to put forth their best effort, and I'm sure that they will. The curriculum this year, unlike when they took CSP, if they did last year, is much more centered and focused, whereas in Computer Science Principles, the Level 1 course, it's much more of a survey course that looks at many different topics. Computer Science A is very, very focused specifically on Java and the object-oriented component of that language. It works at both the variables and their actions, as well as how to write different types of programs called classes and how they interact. In addition to that, we use real-world development tools, one of which is Eclipse, which is a high-level IDE, or interactive development environment, which is used in professional companies, as well as GitHub, which is an online repository. Think about it like a digital thumb drive on the internet. So the students not only get to learn how to program, but get to use some tools that they'll use should they choose to move on to this either in college, or should they choose to move on to this as a career. In addition to working on the Java stuff for the AP exam in May, once we're done with some of the content or we're done with the AP test, we'll move right into app development using Android Studio. They'll be able to create applications that they'll test on tablets or on their phones if they happen to have one. And it's a very neat component of the year. It's a great way to finish off. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that they enjoy it. In closing, I'd like to thank you for coming in tonight. Again, I'm sorry that I couldn't be here in person, but if you have any questions for me, any concerns, or anything that you feel I should know or would like to know more about, please don't hesitate to contact me. I look forward to working with you for the betterment of your students for the rest of the year. Have a great night.